Chris Coleman says to me, Diggs, come here for a second. And I went, yeah, and he goes, yeah, love that, we're starting tomorrow. And I thought to myself, oh. So I'm running and I threw my keys and I went, will you park that for me, will you? I'm in a bit of a rush, you know what I mean? Didn't think about it, put the boots on, ran up, seeing Al Matthews going, don't you ever fucking throw your keys at me. And I went, oh, I've only gone and thrown my keys to the manager. But I think to myself, when he gets this sweet Caroline, boys were taking food off people's plate who they're eating with, taking bites out of it, doing whatever. People are throwing food. During the COVID, people looked at it some looked at it to improve and get better, where some people put the handbrake up and took a year off, but where we weren't in the position to do that. And look, unfortunately, it just didn't work out, you know. And I know strangers, the thing's not working out. This has probably been something that's come across in my career where people don't know what way to take me. At the end of the day, I want to win. Winning for me is, you know, I've had many times in my career where it hasn't worked out. Us footballers, we live in a bubble and that's all people see, but life still happens to us all. And, you know, unfortunately for me, life gave me a little smack around the ear and I end up in a hospital bed with sepsis, which was a difficult period. And for me, that wasn't to be again. Disappointing, of course it was, you know. Yeah, we won it, but if you ask any footballer, when they don't play, you never really feel on the inside of it. It's a weird one, you know.
Hello and welcome to Footy with IFF TV. We're here in Footgolf up in the mountains of Dublin, and I'm joined by Gary Deegan. Today, I'm Cole Palmer and he's Tony Kroos. We're going to play Footgolf, and at the same time we're going to be asking Gary about his career. Early career at Shelbourne, kind of in and around that time. Talk to me about kind of the early days at Shelbourne, getting yourself into the first team, training with the first team, and then kind of you're working your way around the league of Ireland.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a youngster at Shels. I've been there since I'm 13 or so. Obviously worked my way up to the 21s and so. And I think how I got into the 21, started to get in there, was I'd written a handwritten letter to a load of clubs in the UK, and one actually get back to me, and the club who it was Bury FC. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And I went to Pat Fenlon and I said to him, Pat, look, I'm at being offered a trial. Can I go on the trial? And he goes, to who? And obviously I told him who it was, you know. Yeah. And within a couple of days, he had said to me, look, you're not going on that trial. You're going to start training with the 21s. And I just think to myself, happy bloody days. And I think that was kind of the springboard of kind of getting closer to the first team, and obviously, you know, started to get onto the, you know, train with the first team and doing all that. And then, you know, I started to climb that ladder there. You know?
At that time, obviously, with Pat Fenlon and Shelbourne were really successful in around that period. You know, they were winning titles, coming up to the European run in and around that time as well, with Deportivo and that.
Yeah, I actually remember that. At the time, James Chambers, if you remember James, yeah. James actually travelled with the team that time. So, and I was actually in around the 21. So, you know, I was close, and it was exciting to see that someone at my own age, my own level in James was with the first team travelling to Deportivo. Was Deportivo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you split to win it and then Deportivo?
How'd you split? As a youngster, obviously,
you would have been in.
I would have been there, you know, and you know, it was a good hunting part of the club, you know. Yeah,
so kind of talk to me about kind of what that was like, I suppose, seeing the standard that they were at, because that was probably the highest standard in a long time. That Shels side were kind of bringing levels, getting into Europe, and kind of started that. I suppose when Dundalk have done it since and Rovers have done it since, but Shels were kind of the first to really get that far at the time.
Yeah, I think that's when really my apprentice in football really started. You know, I was with the first team with the likes of Owen Heardy, Glenn Crowe, Jim Crawford, Alan Reynolds, Jason Bourne, the list goes on. Jamie Harris.
Huge characters.
Huge men, proper men, and I learned quickly from these, because I was young, eager, busy. You know, I remember one time in training I was being extra busy, like, you know, trying to impress. And I remember Al Reynolds gave me a little, you know, you want to...
Current Bowls manager, if anyone else doesn't know.
Calm down a bit here, you know, I mean, it's a bit like, fucking hell, you know, but no, got a proper few football lessons in there, and I think that was my kind of first real taste of saying, you know what, I think I can handle this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously then, you know, obviously I was knocking on Pat's door saying, yeah, I'm young, I'm 17 at this time, I'm saying I need to play ahead of, you know, who was in the middle at the time? Stewie Bourne, Alan Moore, you know, all of these, Ollie Cattle. Yeah, and I'm to myself, but where he goes, he's eager. So he obviously sent me out loan to kind of keep me at bay, because I was coming in training, a little miserable ahead of me. Why am I not playing? Yeah. You know, me, I wasn't thinking, you know, but, you know, I had a real appetite to want to have a career in football. And I think Pat kind of sent me on my way there. Sent out to Kilkenny.
Yeah. Talk to me then about kind of just getting away from Shells and coming back. Obviously, you went to Galway a little bit before you take your next shot. So just kind of that experience of going out on loan and going to Kilkenny. I don't think they're a club anymore.
Yeah, they're not even a club anymore, so it kind of gets to show you where we are at. But now they train in Dublin twice a week. I went to Michelle's, went the rest of it, and just went out, got experience, got to play, got to just be free a little bit. You know what I mean? No one knew who I was. It was just a free cuff, off the cuff, go play football. I went out and done that, and you know, I think you know, people want to see, can you hand yourself in the league? And come the end of the season, Shells have obviously went tits up a little bit, and you know, I found myself not having the club, and my first taste of football was at Longford under Al Matthews. I'll tell you a story about I'll tell you one of my first weeks under Al, but let me take this second shot, right?
You're gonna have to curl that right around there. I'd actually hit that under, like a low free kick under the wall.
What are we saying here? Under the little wall, a little Kev De Bruyne here, is it? Oh, here we go.
I think you should be passing that. I think you've gone way off there, the snow. I have to ask you about one of the all-time greats in the League of Ireland, Joseph Vindeau, and just like training with him and seeing him up close and personal. You know, we've seen the magic of him on the pitch, but like, what was he like in training?
Oh, yeah, Joe was a free spirit, but I think it was the first time that I actually really got to see someone with a personality.
Yeah,
like a real personality. Done what he wanted to do, done what made him feel good, and then to see him training like that, trying so freely, done loads of things. Now, ask him to run back and work hard is a different story, which, you know, you can live with it because he's so good. But some of the stuff we trying and training was fantastic. But best performance I've ever seen. We were away in Europe, Salzburg. Yeah. Now backs against it, Austria. We were all sitting in, very nervous, kind of just trying to get through the game. Joseph looked like he was the best player in the park. He was holding up, he was flicking it, he was striking it, he was doing everything. And I think that was the first time that I said to myself, wow, some a real big personality that had a big pair of nuts on him to go and take the ball in. And look, if it wasn't for Joseph at times, you know, winning fouls, getting us up the pitch, little momentum builders, you know, love of Joseph, all that stuff. Yeah. I'm a youngster looking at this. Youngster, I'm 20 years of age.
That third goal, Alan Moore against Hajduk Split, Joseph Vindeau made that goal with a bit of skill, and then he was the one who squared it.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic player, and what a career. She represented to Cameroon in the World Cup. So, fantastic now. Character-wise, I'm not so sure now. Very, very hard to read what he's about, you know. Yeah. But as a footballer, unbelievable.
Talk to me about Longford.
Yeah,
and kind of getting your real first, I suppose, run at professional football, but it would have been in terms of a club that you had.
Yeah, no, it was my first real exposure of, you know, I'm not really familiar with the manager, but I was running a bit late. You know what I mean? I was running late. The training, and I'm rushing and panicking, you know. So we used to train in Westminster.
Yeah.
Westminster. So I fucking parked the car up, you know, throw the booster. I'm in a bit of a panic, you know what I mean? The first person I seen, I didn't know who it was. I just seen him in Longford gear.
Yeah.
Seemed like, you know. So I'm running and I threw my keys and I went, will you park that for me, will you? I'm in a bit of a rush, you know what I mean? Didn't think about it, put the boots on, ran up, seeing Al Matthews going, don't you ever fucking throw your keys at me. And I went, oh, I've only gone and thrown my keys to the manager. But I think to myself, what have I done? But he was fucking on me for the 2 weeks, on me. Throwing the keys at the manager, man.
Did you apologise to him? Or?
Yeah, of course I fucking did. I was only a young fella. I wasn't really thinking. I just seen him. I just, you know, usual. You wouldn't mind parking that for me, you know what I mean? Well, he fucking storms up in front of everyone. Who the f do you think you are and all that? And I was like, what a start. And I wouldn't mind then a few times when we played, you know, where the boys are in recovery. He had me doing running, he had me doing loads of stuff, but
Character building, no?
another little lesson in football, eh? Right, so what are we thinking here? Is it a roll or is it a pass?
I'll allow, if you want to do like a foot on top of the ball roll, I'll allow it. I don't think it'll hold up in the snow. I think it'd be side foot.
So is this for 3?
This is for 3, yeah. You've got the scorecard.
I'm gonna go for a little toe poke at Hontas here.
I think you got it.
Hello!
That's 3
Is
for
that
you.
a little par 3, is it?
I don't trust you now. I think you're not trying to help me like I was trying to help you. Oh.
Tell you what though. See, these are the nervy ones.
See, this is the joys about being both-footed. Yes, I get it on the left foot on the way back.
A little bit uphill, you're gonna have to give it a bit as well, haven't you?
I'm just hoping the snow allows a little bit of a bend. Get in. 4.
4. 4 and a 3.
4, yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously after me little altercation with Al, I've settled in nicely. I've started to play regularly, started to become like a mainstay in the team and done really well. Albeit missed out in the cup final, which no surprise to miss out the cup finals. But yeah, really kind of established myself as a young star in the league coming up, and you know, I got my rewards where I moved to full-time football with Galway at the time under Tony Cousins. Obviously, that was very short-lived. Club went into a bit of financial difficulties. We're down the bottom of the league. I'm still training hard, still believing myself, doing all those things, and I get a phone call out of the blue. It's Pat Fenlon. They want to come down to Bowes. I couldn't believe it. Being told that, you know, financial difficulties at Galway, it's not going to be working out.
Yeah.
Who are bottom of the league, to going back to Dublin, where I'm from, title winning, title challenging, to go play with Bowes. Couldn't believe it. I was like,
and a lot of the players that Bowes would have at that time were kind of crossing over from Shells as well, and obviously Pat being there as well.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think Pat really thought it was going to be a first-team player. I think it was more of a squad fella, if I'm being honest with you. But obviously I had different ambitions at that time, and yeah, look, I went into Bowes with a real belief in myself. Trained really hard and didn't look back from there then, you know.
Did you always foresee yourself winning things and being that end of the table?
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't really thinking about titles and medals and all that. Just honestly, I really wanted to play. I love football. Football was my passion. I've been doing it since a 7-year-old boy. It's what I wanted to do, and here I am playing for the big club in Dublin. Established myself as a first-team player, playing really well. You know, nominated for actually one Player of the Month, in Team of the Year, getting all these lovely little good feel factors. You know, I'm 20 years of age. You know, being a midfielder, scoring. That might be a shock to a few people, but a younger Gary Deegan was a box-to-box midfielder, and you know, I started to really establish myself as not only was I a young talent in the league, I started to become one of the best players in the league. And back then, when you're what would I say, a young and up and coming, you do attract attention, and I started to attract a bit of attention. I remember when the season finished out with Bowes after winning the league. You know, when it's Christmas time, everyone fucks off to do what they want. I ended up going on trial to Kilmarnock for 5 weeks. You know, I was desperate. I really wanted to go play in the UK or Scotland, whatever it was, and went out there for 5 weeks, and I wanted to sign a contract, but the fellow who was looking after me was acting like a bloody cowboy. And look, the Kilmarnock manager came to me and says, look, you want to get it done, but you're gonna have to sort out your mate who's looking after you. And you know, look, it didn't work out. I come home with me tail between my legs a little bit, but Pat Fenlon came to me and goes, look, are you desperate to go away? Is this what you really want? And I went, yeah. And he says to me, well, look, do what you done last year, and I'll help you in every way. And you had to be the best in the league. You had to be proven. You had to win a title to go away, to get a contract.
Teams of the year and stuff like that.
Team of the,
up, you know, because that's voted by the other players.
Yeah, and what you're doing is you're backing up with evidence. You know what I mean? Where I believe I did, and you know, that's what happens. I think now, you know, everyone has a bleeding agent, right? And they kind of play this kind of, I'll get my agent to do it. And, you know, all they're looking out to do is get a catalogue of players and hopefully that they strike a hot with one of them, you know, and collect a load of players. And, you know,
And they're not really actually caring about the player themselves. It's more just
it's
about
not even,
the
it's not even
contract.
about caring about. I think the player themselves then kind of play this kind of bullshitty role, kind of like, oh, my agent's trying to get me here and there, when you're like, honestly, my football done the talking. And that's all you can do, you know. You can bring your agent and do it. You can't fucking flog a dead horse if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, football will always do the talking. You know what I mean? I didn't have an agent looking after me. Don't have it now, but I'm sure if people pull up your CV, you know, they can kind of go, yeah, he's a bit me or not. But, you know, if you're going to rely on someone else to do something for you, forget about it. So, well, that's my philosophy, you know.
So, talk to me about Pat Fenlon. You were just saying on the last hole there about how if you stayed, you know, the next season after the Kilmarnock thing, you know, he could potentially help you out getting the move. So
yeah. So obviously,
what happened from there?
Yeah. So obviously, with the Kilmarnock thing, I wasn't materialising. You know, I was obviously a little bit disappointed, but you know, as I was leaving the hotel and stuff, you know what I mean, I might as well fill in my boots, do you know what I mean? Ordered everything on the menu and we leave it there. But no, look, Pat had said to me, look, if this is something that you really want to go for, you know, I'm going to try and help you. But if you can come home and do what you done the last time, and I'll try my best to help you. But he was really someone that, for the first time in his career, really pushed me, like had high standards. I remember we were winning 4-0, Waterford, and, you know, the usual, you're winning, you kind of, you know, casual, and it's the first time a manager fucking had at me for winning 4-0 because I wasn't moving fast and quick enough, and I thought myself, nah, he's playing on a different frequency than what I've been dealing with before, and he really drove standards. And I suppose that work ethic and that real hunger to win kind of was my kind of language, and I really gravitated towards it. And, you know, also, he's the first manager where it really felt like it really motivated and inspired a change in the room. And, you know, I remember some of this, you know, just how he spoke of passion and stuff like that was another driving force and kind of helped me there. You know what I mean? It could be easy where managers nowadays kind of leave players, you know, with a load of stuff, you know. Is it too much? Can he handle the pressure? You know, I think Pat fucking put it on me to see how much I could handle it. And nah, he was definitely a driving force in those early stages of getting my career up and running. But yeah,
And you moved on to Coventry after. So how did that segue happen?
Yeah, I was actually supposed to sign for Ipswich when Roy Keane was there, which, as an Irish fella, someone who I look up to, Jesus, it was something that I taught myself, like, things you can only dream of. But again, you know what football's like. You know, shit gets in the way and things don't materialise, and it didn't happen.
Did he speak to you directly?
Pat kind of said to me, look, you know, I think this is going to happen, you know, this is your last game or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, gave it the old, you know, one to the fans. You know, as a kid, thought it was fucking the bee's knees, you know, I'm off, you know, never happened, I'm still fucking here. But no, it was, again, another little hiccup in football. It didn't happen, and obviously, you know, I think at this stage, if you had to tell me I was going to, I don't know, the end of the year, I would have followed you there to go play football. But no, Coventry was the destination.
And who was the manager there at the time?
Chris Coleman.
Oh yeah, you went on to do well with Wales as well.
Chris Coleman, yeah, great character.
In what sense?
Just as even as a young fella, I was 22 at the time. He just had a great charisma about him, made you feel really relaxed, you know, just, don't know, he stinked of a football manager. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
you know, how he carried himself, good-looking bastard as well, you know. Look, it was great. Sure, how I got my first start at Coventry. I'm only in the door. They think I'm a project. I know they do. I signed a 3-year deal, you know. They're probably thinking he's won maybe the year or the year after. But we're away at Ipswich, at Roy Keane's Ipswich, by the way. You know the lads, the ding, 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 you know, initiation. I think, oh, I'm not fucking doing this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm only, you know what I mean? So the manager had says, right, boys, he's gonna sing. And at the time it was me and another fella, Carl Baker. Carl got up, you know, sang, my Miss American Pie. Boys were loving it, you know. Well done, Bakes, you know. Diggs, your turn. I was thinking,
it's always worse when you go second as well.
Of course, he got them all on side, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I? I'm struggling here, like, you know, what have I got in the bank here? First thing that came into my head, field of that, and right, fuck it, I'm going with it, right? Jumped up on the chair, you know, low, the feet. So everyone was clapping, joining in. Not a fucking dicky board. Nobody said nothing, right? I powered through it, done it all, yeah. Finish our meal. Chris Coleman says to me, Diggs, come here for a second. And I went, yeah, and he goes, yeah, I love that. You're starting tomorrow. And I thought to myself, oh, I'm buzzing here. But anyways, just gets to show you a little bit of bravery. Nothing got to do with football. None of that to show that, you know, a young fella coming over here, got up and fucking gave it a bit, and earned myself a little start away at Portman Park, Portman Road, whatever you call it. But
against a team that you could have signed for.
Great introduction into English football, you know. I tell you what, it's worked out even better for me. For 4.
That's your third shot.
Yeah, this for 4. Hello!
Never.
Oh!
Do you want to put yours in?
Oh,
I'd like to get the snow off the ball.
5.
That's cheating if I get to take the snow off it.
Yeah, you can't touch your ball. Unfortunately, you've got to play as is.
Okay. 4, 5.
5 each. 5 apiece. Used to be a chef.
Spinning plates.
Sous chef, I mean.
So you mentioned obviously Chris Coleman and, you know, playing at Ipswich and stuff like that. Talk to me about kind of the time there, getting a run in the team. Scored against QPR, I believe. That sort of feeling of, you know, you're making your way in the game, and then how kind of it came to an end. Or...
Yeah, well, I think I was on really good momentum. Even going back to the bowls, I was winning Player of the Year, Player of the Month, all that type of thing. I kind of carried on to Coventry, getting a start, scoring, getting a run in the team. But yeah, things did veer off. Chris, obviously, who brought me over, ended up getting sacked. And then, you know, being a young and naive person, I fired out a tweet as well, which I kind of meant it in a celebratory. One of the lads, James McPake, had got an Irish Northern Ireland international call up, and I was saying it in a celebratory way, you know, congratulations, you know, up the row, hey, you know. I was obviously on holidays at the time. I go back to the hotel room, and the other half says, man, your phone is absolutely gone bananas here, you know what I mean? So I looked at it, whoa, like I was getting hammered, slaughtered, random people, like, what is this, and blah, you know? Talking about agents rang me, goes, what are you playing at, you know? And I says, what? He goes, fuck, what are you writing, you know? And I went, I didn't think what I had consequences. I just...
Well, Twitter was only new around that time as well. So
very
it wasn't
new.
The case, like Wayne Rooney came out and said that like he would put out stuff without realising he was offering people fighting and all.
Yeah, which at the time I think was more of a kind of a, you know, oh, you know, it's something new, try it, you know, that kind of way, give it a go, you know, and obviously it's obviously blew up in my face because it ended up with me getting toughed out of the club, you know, which I think it was an easy target, if I'm being honest with you. I didn't think it was much. There was no malice. There was nothing in it. You could see he was a young.
You would have apologised.
Of course, I did. I was a young player, and you know, look, I think it was an easy scapegoat. But I think at that time at the club, I think a lack of real. When Chris left, there was a lot of up and down, no leadership, no guidance. And I think as a young player, I think what I could have needed was maybe a senior player, maybe just kind of going, look, keep your head down, you know, this will blow over or something.
Or even the captain to kind of come out and back you, just even at a press conference, something like
more so that would something like that. Where when I look back on it now, to myself, do you know, and wasn't hung out to dry, but it's a bit like is very cheap, you know. And look, it ended up me leaving the club, and you know, that's football, isn't it?
Yeah. Good. That could be a hole in one.
No. She's all right up there, though.
Oh, you wiped your ball of odds. Oh, I see. He did do that before we took the shot.
Under pressure.
I just need one hole to get back into it. I just hope I don't hit the sheep here. We ready?
Nah.
Go on.
Sorry. Get tuned.
Do you want to put it in? Do you want to finish it off? Yeah. You're on 3 there now.
That's 3 for me. Oh, hasn't got the legs.
It's a snow gathering on it.
A little bit of pressure on this one. I wouldn't be sorry for that one either.
Oh, lads.
Oh.
Forward again.
Apple crumble. So a 3 for me, 4 for you.
Yes. So this is hole 5. Any bonus points to hit the drone? I'll take that.
Very slippy though, isn't it?
Yeah. Bit heavy. Oh no! Great strike. Yeah, you little fucker, you.
Same as well.
Yeah.
Right, 2 6s.
I'll get that one.
2 6s.
Do I go for this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
he was a whisker away.
It's in.
Oh, he's only gone and given it. Oh. First hiccup for me, innit?
It'll happen as we go on. Nice. So you're 2 extras than me there. So yeah, obviously, you know, you live and learn at Coventry, but after that, a familiar name gives you a ring, and you're back with that man. Tell me about that, Pat Fenlon.
Yeah, obviously, so it becomes a turbulent time after such a good start at Coventry, but yeah, Pat Fenlon goes in at Hibernian, and I'm looking for a bit of familiarity now, and I think he is a little bit as well. To work with people that he's worked with before always helps.
You're probably looking for a bit of love as well. Obviously, comes away, you know, Coventry ended, as you said. You didn't really feel like you had anyone kind of having your back, so you're going to someone who straight away you know will have your back, and you're, as you said, you're familiar with.
Yeah, of course, and it helps then, you know, when there's players that are there that you've previously known or worked with before, which helps. So, you know, maybe just trying to put that to bed, a fresh start. Scottish Premiership, big club, Hibernian. Yeah, sounds like a good challenge, and yeah, I decided to go there again, a new club. you want to get off to a good start, don't you? Like, you know, my first game was the Edinburgh Derby, Hibs and Hearts, 12:30. Only way to interject yourself, isn't it?
Did you have
It's
to do another?
a good firm tackle, and say that again.
Did you have to do another Field of Athenry?
No, this was different.
What was the song for that one?
Didn't have to do one for some strange reason. Wasn't the thing. So it was just literally straight in and.
Well, Pat knew what you were all about. So is there any fear of, you know, going in there or anything like that? Especially because it is a derby, you're going straight into like not just a normal match you're going to play. Like, or there's already a bit of pressure because of the game that it is. It's like Celtic and Rangers, but on a lesser scale.
Yeah, I think with the adrenaline of the game in itself, you want to get off to a good start. You want to impose yourself. You know what? Wouldn't say I was outstanding. Probably had a steady Eddie game, and you know started to build into the team that way, and it was pretty good. We were Christmas time. We were there, top of the league. Everything was flying. League Rippet scoring goals. Owen Doyle scoring goals. It's a great place to be in. You know, enjoy coming to training. You know, if anything, I probably stood around the training ground bloody too long. Wasn't getting back till 3-4. You know, the likes of myself, Owen Doyle, Tim Clancy. Whether it was table tennis, Footgolf, wherever it goes, head tennis, we just constantly there. Loved being around the place. You know, must be ringing me at like 3 o'clock. Like, where are you? You know, we're inside playing table tennis, and we could be there for ages. But it was a great place to be in, and you know,
with those lads, like then, like you sound like you had a really good time away from the pitch as well, considering Coventry wasn't like that.
Exactly, Irish lads. Nice to be back in amongst your own people, as you'd want to call them. Can do both. Can have a laugh. Can be serious. Do you know what I mean? Tim's is a real jokester. Owen Doyle
doesn't come across like that as a manager nowadays, but I'm sure as a player.
As a player, of course, it's different. You know what I mean? You only have to look after yourself. You know. But anyways, look, to be around good people like that, it helps your time. And look, look, football isn't always straightforward. You know. And I obviously, you know, went from being top of the league to sitting in a hospital bed with a broken jaw, which seems a bit out of the blue, but these things happen. We were on a night out, someone punched me in the face, and I had to go ring the man who put faith in me to say that, Pat, I won't be in training tomorrow. I'm sitting in hospital with a broken jaw, you know, which his first reaction. And credit to him was, you know, don't worry about it, don't stress, I'll be up to see it and stuff like that, which obviously helped. And you know, he helped me through that period. He came down to the house to make sure how I was doing, because it was a period where I didn't want to be around training ground. Do you know what I mean? It became a little bit kind of withdrawn, a little bit kind of, you know, wanted to be on my own a little bit, but you know, the character that I am as well, I kind of found my way back somehow, you know, got back playing, you know, and look, through a difficult period, it ended with a Scottish Cup final, which I thought I made a claim for. I come back, I scored an absolute dinger of a goal, probably one of the best in my career. It was last 32 of the Scottish Cup final. It's Aberdeen, it's at home. I picked the ball up halfway line. I'm you know what I play, I'm short, sharp. I decided to dribble. Now I decided to dribble with a halfway line. No one's coming at me. Keep going. 20, 30 yards out, just go and hit it. In off the bar, boom. 1-0. Place is static. You know, what a great way to be back in amongst being part of the team, because I've spent a big chunk of it being on the sidelines, come in. Big
and not even through your own, like, you didn't get injured, like, playing or training. It was something that happened, like, it was out of your control.
Which out of my control, it was unfortunate it happened, but to come back to score the way I did really made me feel part of the lads again, you know what I mean? And you know, you think you're contributing, feeling part of it, and then when the big day comes around, you know, it's Celtic, Hibs in the Scottish Cup final, we managed to get to the final, and you're thinking to yourself, right, I've got a chance here, you know what I mean? What a day for me, my family, all of that, you know? But football sometimes has other plans, you know. I remember Pat flipped the team over, the starting team, and I'm pissed off I'm not in the team, you know, fuming obviously. looked at it, and Tim had to give me the nudge and said, Deegan, have a look, will you? You know, I looked again. I wasn't even on the fucking squad. He had left me out. So I was thinking to myself, wow, you know, me and Tim sitting in the, imagine that, 2 Irish boys sitting in the stand versus Celtic. I had loads of family coming over. A Hamden. Which would have been a lovely one to kind of to talk about in time for better reasons. But you know, that was Pat's decision.
Did he ever give you an explanation?
Yeah, look, do you know what? As time is a great healer, innit? You know, in the moment, you're fuming, you're effing, you're jeffing, you're saying all the things that
Cup finals don't come around all that often. I know they probably did for you, but not to too many people if you talk to them over their career. Yeah,
and look, I think that kind of, what would I say, stifled it a little bit, you know. I was like, how can I kind of continue doing this? You're going to be left to have a cup final, you know. Started so well, had a shit middle, and then kind of ended off a little bit, kind of get myself back with, like I said, about scoring goals, getting back in the team, doing all that, you know, really showcasing what it's really about. And look, things didn't work out, and that's football. What you can't do is you can't sulk for too long, because you know you're out of contract now and you need a new club, and you know.
But you still have a good relationship with him now, or was that just in the moment that you were?
No, of course. Look,
you were probably thinking to yourself, you know, fuck him, at the time.
Of course, at the time you're fuming. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'd be lying to say that. But no, look, I understand what football's about. You know, people make decisions. You know what I mean? The football decisions are they personal? I didn't think it was personal. Probably felt personal, because you think yourself that you should be playing like anyone else. And yeah, it's business at the end of the day, and you got to move on. Do I have a relationship with him now? Of course I do. He's a man that's also given me a start on football, so it'd be shit for me to kind of start talking bad about someone when they've made one bad decision, but they've also given me 2 or 3 little steps on the football ladder, which, you know,
you might not have had a career.
Might not have them otherwise. Yeah.
Hole 7,
right.
And I'm catching back up on you now. So
right, let's go over there.
Shot. Yeah, and that won't get taken down because the snow will hold it up. Yeah. Can you hear that? The thing is stuck to it. Just slapping at it.
Oh, he's overcooked it.
Oh no, actually that's not too bad. It's basically, you probably want to go that, like bend it that way around. Yeah, that'll come down. Nice.
On that little trajectory, is that the whole way down there?
It's like frozen on. It's frozen onto the
Frozen ball, look.
Oh, there we go.
There he goes. Look, all you have to do is pull it off.
And try to get that bit off. It keeps, so what, so see it there. Watch now when we go through a bit more snow, it'll be a big giant ball like that again in a minute. Like that.
I want a bit of bounce here. Not gonna lie, a little bit of bounce would be lovely.
It's this one, the closer one. Watch out. Shot.
Just trying to get a little zing in it.
I'm trying to not.
Oh, he's chucked it on this hole. You going for it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I'm only one behind. I should have put my ball in first, and then you'll know all about it.
Yep.
Hopefully yours bounces out.
Yeah!
Nice.
It's not pretty,
See the way the ball just slips off there?
but it's got its job done.
Get that. Look at that.
What has he got now? What's he got in the locker? Has he got
If I get it further than yours, I'd be happy. But I need to make sure I get the whip on it.
Whip snide.
It'll do.
Yeah, come join me.
Right, so after Hibs, you move back to the UK. You move back, well, you're in the UK, but you move back to England. Talk to me about kind of spells there and kind of moving around there and maybe where it worked, where it didn't work, moving from Northampton and Southend and then moving on.
Yeah, look, it's that part of my career now where I feel like I'm chopping and changing. There's no continuity what I'm doing at all. So I'm bouncing, I'm trying to find a home. So again, I go back to the old playbook of trying to bring a bit of familiarity to me, which is Eddie Bootroyd, who had me at Coventry, who is at Northampton now. So I thought it's a good fit to work under someone who is highly ambitious.
Good manager. England under 21s and good manager at what?
Yeah, he's got good pedigree, managing the Premier League. He's, you know, he knows where he's at, and I thought myself, you know, that will do me. I'll fit in nicely there, but you go 10 games without a win, and Eddie Bootroyd finds himself out again, which it seems to be the same old story for me. Can't seem to get a bit of rhythm, just ups and downs, you know, nothing ever seems, you know, like that's going to plan. But, you know, Eddie's out the door, Chris Wilder comes in, which I think that was the end of my spell. I think sometimes managers come in and you're either there, a cup of tea or nothing, and I wasn't his. So
why do you think that was?
I don't know whether that was how I presented myself. You know, I was quite, you know, little angry Irish fella. I don't know why he looked at me, but you know, maybe that was just misrepresented because, you know, I always showed an appetite to train. I always tried to be the best, you know. So whether that was my tone, my personality, I don't know what it was. But look, at Northampton, it was a one-stop, and off I went, and I found myself down at Southend, sunny Southend, with Phil Brown, which was more of a positive. So I've had a few lows, you know, the Hibs, the disappointment, you know, whatever it may be. I found myself at Southend, and it was a great little time. I loved the place. Phil Brown, what a character.
Was he?
And May Fainer.
Chocolate?
Huh?
Did they all still call him chocolate?
Absolute chocolate. It was all about him. It was the Phil Brown show. It was the Phil Brown show. And we got a promotion there, which is fantastic. We went from League 2 to League 1, and yeah, it was great. We actually went out to Marbella for a pre-season with Phil Brown, you know, and you know, we met in the airport. Lads, look, when we go out to Marbella, we'll have a celebration. So, you know, we landed there, we get there. He says to us, we're going on a night out. You know what I mean? A meal. So we're in this nice little restaurant. You know, boys are laughing, joking, getting merry. Boys are getting a bit, you know, lively. You know, the old cling again. You know, anyone doing a song. So all the new boys done their song. Dave Mooney, Anthony Woodward, all done their song. So we're all like, go on, Gaffer, give us a song. Go on, ding ding. Like, fuck it, I'll give you a song. So instead of walking around the table, there's no room. So he stands up, walks across the whole fucking restaurant over. We're carrying him across, we're carrying him down. He gets down, he gives us the Neil Diamond, you know, Sweet Caroline. Well, it went down unbelievable. And anyway, so when he gets this Sweet Caroline, boys were taking food off people's plate who they're eating it, taking bites out of it, doing whatever. People are throwing food, going carnage, drink all over the gaff. And we're just thinking, wow, well, that was just like, boys, we got to get out of here. But you can see how that season ended because we didn't do too well. But your man was absolute chocolate. But it was great. It was a great time. A promotion. And yeah, what a time. It was about time. I felt like I deserved a little high. And I got it at Southend, which was great. But I'm just going to put this in right now just to get me back on level, just like, oh!
You're going to have to put that one away because you're in my way. not having that one again. I was robbed of a point. That was really good.
Oh, bring it around town, baby.
I can't believe that.
Tell you what, you're struggling to get that in as well.
Oh, I won't. I'll tell you what, I struggled to get rid of that ice thing on my foot. Move it up a bit, actually.
Oh, I'm happy with mine. He's cheating, lads.
No, I'm telling
He's cheating.
Bring it up there. This is more.
No, I'm happy, I'm happy. I'm cemented in.
Nice. That was a nice one. I'll take
Oh,
that.
hit the pole, 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 hit the
That's
pole,
alright, never
hit the
hit
pole, hit the pole! Yes, baby!
I can just bend that around easy. That's too hard.
Oh! Oh!
You're fucked now. Because you're in the ditch. Can you make it back? I'm going to go ahead with mine anyway. Two. Three, is it? Three.
Fantastic. Five. That's the problem when you
They're
rush.
getting on down there, will you, the sheep?
None to see here, lads. Keep moving.
This could get me back in the game. One more. You run up to it before it falls down. How many shots is that? You see me rolling, the hating. And did you ever listen back to songs like that? And you're like, oh yeah, the A-Town. Come on.
Nah.
There. I want to hope that curls back around. Yeah, there you go. I'm nervous that I'm going to slip or something. See? I was fucking shy. Oh! It's the ice, man. I can't get over the ice.
You didn't fancy that one, did you, lads?
I'm going to whip it around now. Watch it not hit the camera, man.
Tell you what. Has a chance, that.
Oh, you can get back in it now here. So yeah, you obviously had a good time with, you know, the manager and that at Southend, but on the football side of things, it probably wasn't going so well. You moved to Shrewsbury. Not a whole lot going on there. Then you moved to Cambridge, become a fan favourite. I think you just missed Wes Houlihan, and he just kind of gone as you left.
Yeah, not sure, but it was a great period for me. Sean Derry was the manager, who really gave me a sense of where I play as a central midfielder defensively. It's a required taste. Not everyone can see the hard work and the graft you do. I think it was the first time I went to the club where he kind of played similar. Gave me a lot of guidance, made me the captain of the team, really showed a real belief in me, something that maybe I was waiting my whole career for in England, to kind of give me the kind of, you're doing a good job, son, you know. And you know, I'm 30 years of age at this time, and it's taken a long time, but yeah, look, it was a great time. I settled down on my second child, but you know, us footballers, we live in a bubble, and that's all people see, but life still happens to us all. And you know, unfortunately for me, life gave me a little smack around the ear, and I ended up in a hospital bed with sepsis, which was a difficult period. You know, the doctors at the time said to me, look, forget about football. I think you should worry about getting back to full health soon. So, you know, that kind of put the shits up me a little bit. Think myself, you know, Jesus, maybe this is a lot more serious than I thought. And, you know, through tough times, you know, you need good people around you. And look, I have my partner who we've been through thick and thin with. She obviously, got me through a difficult period, and it helps to have an extra motivation with a second child on the way. But you know, it comes that time in your life where you start to look at maybe the bigger picture, you know, having kids, you know, spending more time. So I think after having a good period with Cambridge, then the health scare, I started to to head home, and that's where they let me. So, you know, I find myself packing the bags up on the ferry with the kids, the furniture, and setting up routes back home again after 11 years or so of highs, lows, missed out on cup finals, promotions, all the bullshit that football comes with it. I was ready to park that, leave it there, and set a new challenge when I come home to Ireland with your beloved Shelbourne. I got the hands in the pockets. Ah!
So, if you didn't know, you had the hands in the pockets. Take that. Go on, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Oh, gets in. Hey, who wants it?
What was that, 3?
Yeah. I was hoping my ball. That was a bit steeper, that one.
Yeah,
you got the last one.
You've clawed that back now, I have to say now.
Oh, what are we on?
What did he get there?
3.
3?
Yeah.
It has its advantages.
I'm going to say we're around to the right, maybe. Through the trees.
That one there, I think, straight ahead.
There you are, Carlton.
So yeah, you mentioned my beloved Shelbourne, but you know, coming back, there's a lot probably on your mind in terms of coming back. A lot of footballers feel almost like they fail if they come back to the League of Ireland. Shelbourne have just been promoted under Ian Morris. So what was it like? Did he call you? Who was in contact there, and how did the whole thing come together?
Yeah, so I obviously played with Morrow at Northampton as players. Obviously, he's now the gaffer. I thought I'd be going back in more of a kind of more of a leadership role, which obviously I was with the captain, but I felt Shells were at a stage where you're on the rebuild. You know, it wasn't a professional mindset yet. It wasn't that elite phase yet. So I'd probably come back to Shells maybe a little bit too early in their development, because I've just seen they went from Division 1, which is completely different. COVID hits, you know, stop-start. We come back after an okay start, and then we come back and we just couldn't get it going. Which
also in the summer couldn't get it going, but before that it had gone well. And obviously you mentioned there about the stop-start. It was the COVID was a big break. Then it was kind of stop, start, stop again.
Yeah.
And then it came in, wasn't it? So it was really, I'd say it was difficult to get any sort of momentum.
Yeah, it's very, very disruptive, challenging mentally, everything going on in the world. People are more concerned than just football, but as footballers, look, you get paid, this is your job, you have to do it. And look, sometimes I've been in this position before where you just can't quite get it going, you know. There were felt like we had real characters at the club. No. And look, when you do get relegated with a club, you do have a responsibility, but at the end of the day, I was more on the lines of, you know, I want to keep trying to play at the top level, you know, and you know that kind of leads me into the next move. But my time at Shells was more of an eye opener back into the league, where I was kind of maybe used to everything being done for you on a regular basis. All you had to do was get yourself ready and come to the games, where it was a little bit different. Wasn't quite to the standard that I was used to, where it was just literally bring yourself to the party and that was it. Where, you know,
where it would be now.
There was no meals, you know what I mean. Then the COVID thing happened, you couldn't shower. There was a lot of problems there. But you know, I think people are in two camps, weren't they, during the COVID? People looked at it some looked at it to improve and get better, where some people put the handbrake up and took a year off, where we weren't in the position to do that. And look, unfortunately, it just didn't work out, you know. And I know strangers to things not working out. You know, I've had many times in my career where it hasn't worked out, you know. And again, you can't take it personally. Fans they take it personally. It's their club, you know. They've went from the heights of winning to back down again, which it's shit. But
and it seemed like a bit of a surprise because I know Cork got relegated at the time, and it looked as though Shells were safe and almost celebrating. And then as games kind of went by, it's just Finn Harps were picking up momentum and winning games, and then Shells weren't winning games, and that kind of ultimately how it obviously went out, and then the playoff against Longford.
yeah, look, we had another out. It was against Longford, which we had more in our ranks to get the job done, and we just didn't turn up. Let's be honest with you. I don't think
Early red cards as well.
Early red cards. You know, you can almost feel the day was against us a little bit. And yeah, look, we didn't turn up. You had a chance to maintain your league status against, in my opinion, a very, very, very average Longford team managed by Dara Doyle, who I know really well, which all credit to them. But that was I really felt Shells had a kind of staying there in the league and building again. You know, they might be further again in the development, because that's another stop start and they're back in the first division and it almost feels like a rebuild again. But look, for the short period of time I was there, you know, enjoy playing at Tolka Park, but you know.
How do you view your kind of spell at Shelbourne then, obviously at that point? Because I don't think this is wrong. I heard like rumours of that you were like a bully. I don't believe that from knowing you.
No, there's a difference between being a bully and having high standards.
Yeah,
you know?
So that's what like
I'm
you
know,
I'm asking
do you know what? This has probably been something that's come across in my career where people don't know what way to take me. At the end of the day, I want to win. Winning for me is the reason why I do it. You know, the feeling of winning is unbelievable. That you've prepared all week to get that high. People work all week to go out on the weekend and get pissed up and do all that. Well, I work hard and train hard to get my little high, my little fix, which is called 3 points and winning, which I think, you know, most footballers should have that, you know. And if people want to brand it as a bully, tough. That's the way it is. Football's supposed to be tough. I come back with a tough mentality. Look at the shit that I've just been talking about. You know, bedridden, career's probably being taken away from me. And I have a chance to come back and compete at 33, 34 and still have a hunger and a desire to win. You know, and if people want to take that as a bully, well, they're in the wrong game. They're in the wrong game, because this game is ruthless and it's not for everyone. And as you're seeing in the Shells camp, it wasn't for everyone, because you look at many people in that squad, how many are still playing today?
Yeah.
Premier football. Because after that spell, I think a lot of them fucked off and away in the wilderness, you know. And my bully tactics, which I call a mindset, a mentality of keep myself going and doing it, which still standing here today, am I? So.
That's
Speaking of bully, Bendy bully.
The ball's fucking in my spot, isn't it?
Hoppy Boppy! You see, you bored him. You bored him into tears. You put him into a trance.
That was more fans saying the bully thing. No player ever really said it, by the way. So you sign for Drogheda, you leave Shelbourne and you sign for Drogheda United, who has an up-and-coming manager who you know very well from playing with Tim Clancy at Drogheda. Talk to me about kind of going in there with him, and you know, how did he sell it to you?
Yeah, I think it was take two of Shells, really. Same kind of young group, needs a bit of experience, needs to kind of drag standards up a little bit. So I kind of had an idea what it was like. It was like I had a rehearsal with Shells. Yeah. Now I have a second chance to do with Tim, which seemed to be a more of a successful period without really winning at him. And yeah, really enjoyed working with younger players, a different way of communicating with players, you know. Yeah, and really started to really find a home at Drogheda United. I've really feel like the club resemble me a little bit rough around the edges, but inside has a big heart, and you know, yeah. So it was a good fit in the end.
And just kind of you touching on there, just I suppose a lot of the fans I remember going up there because they're still in sort of COVID time 2021, so it hadn't gone completely. But I remember going up and there was limited fans, and there's a lot of fans actually praising you for how you kind of went in and how you were around the place, and kind of different to what I was hearing around Shelbourne in terms of from fans. I mean more so, not players.
No, exactly. I just, I've really had a chance to showcase me as a person, which not many get to see a lot. And that's where I go back with the young players. Do you see this older man come in with a beard who barks and all that? But under all of it, I want the same as me as they do. They want a career. They want to do well. They understand that working hard. When you work hard, you get rewards. And I think we had a good match. And look, we had some great times, good times. And our Thursdays used to have worse trainer, but the forfeit was you had to wear the costume. You had to wear the costume. So one day someone could be sitting there in a Shrek donkey or whatever the costume may be. But I think I got a bit of had to be knocked on the head when Kev was trying to do an analysis one night when Darren Markey was dressed as Chucky, and he couldn't do it. He kept breaking out laughing. So we had
Kev Doherty.
Kev Doherty. So every time he's turning out to lads saying, lads, just to talk, and he goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Doherty, I can't do it." Fucking Chucky staring at him, which so little things like that where we didn't have the best of things all the time, but what we had was we had great banter, camaraderie, and I think that's where Kev got it right. Was he didn't try and batter us with all just football. He allowed me to run the changing room, which many managers wouldn't allow him that way. When you look at it now, it brought us together, and it was a fantastic time. And then obviously to end it with a cup final and to win it was a great way to end my period with Drogheda United.
Oh my God!
Easy as a 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God! They go back heel again.
You see that's what I do to them. I put them into a trance.
Right, you can get the ball now. Actually, no, you right there. You mentioned over there about the cup final and stuff like that. You've also spoke about missing cup finals in the past. So I know it was a great achievement for Drogheda to beat Derry because no one gave you hope whatsoever. So what was it like, I suppose, for you? Because you've just spoken there about being the one who drives the standards in the dressing room and stuff like that. And then obviously you're going in against Derry, who are up competing for the league the whole year up into the last couple of games.
Yeah, look, I'm the leader. I have to lead by example. I find myself out of the team. I'm trying everything I can to get back in the team. I'm training hard. I still have an edge. There's no decline in my game. I've come back from injury. You want to lead the lads out on the biggest occasion. And look, I've been a bridesmaid many times in cup finals, and I was this time again, which, I had a choice to make. I could, spit me dummy out and have every right to being the club captain, should be the one to lead the lads out.
At the Aviva.
At the Aviva, you don't get many chances to do it. It'd be the one time that you feel that, you're a club captain, you put the 4 years hard work in, the ups, the downs, no one giving you a prayer. You have all of that, and then you have the one day to look around, the family in the stands, being the club captain and lead the lads out. And for me, that wasn't to be again. Disappointing, of course it was. Yeah, we won it, but if you ask any footballer, when they don't play, you never really feel on the inside of it. It's a weird one,
Well,
course you're happy.
Paul Scholes mentioned about the Champions League and Roy Keane.
Yeah.
And Martin O'Neill actually as well recently. Just only spoke because they all missed the European Cup final, so they didn't feel part of it.
Yeah, of course you don't. You know, everyone's like emptying the tank to go lift the trophy while you've been sitting there watching everything going on, and then at the end you almost feel like you're cheating people over by going up and going, congratulations, you know, which, you know, everyone else is happy and excited and everyone's buzzing, but I want to be out there. I want to be leading the lads, you know. I felt like I've earned that, you know, over the course of the last 4 years, what I've done with the club, you know. Or, you know, when you look at Drogheda where they were 4 years ago to where they are now, I've been a massive part of that that trajectory and where the club's gone now in full time. And, you know, I've obviously left the club in a better off position than they are, albeit through other players, not solely through me, but have been vital to that, you know. And to not be there on the big day, you know, see me kids in the stand, you know, daddy gets to lift the cup and all that, and that's great for everyone else. But internally, and every footballer can relate to it, like you just says, doesn't cut the same, doesn't feel the same. You know, where I've been out there for 90 minutes, blood, sweat and tears, whatever it took, would have a different effect. And look, that's been the story of my career, really, hasn't it been? It's been a very small highs, lots of disappointment, loads of setbacks. Do I feel like it's sharpened me character? Has it given me the tools to deal with disappointment? I definitely think it has, and I think, you know, going forward, whatever I decide to do, all my experiences, all my setbacks, all the highs, lows, whatever they may be, I'll bundle up and use it in the next phase of my career, wherever that may take me.
Oh, you little bastard, you don't go down the hill.
Here we go. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Just give it a little tap, tap, taparoo. Just not like that. Oh.
Trick photography.
Woo! Oh, same old story. Same old
jammy
story.
bastard.
Can you get the ball, tell it? 4,
Boring.
5.
Boring me to sleep here and I keep missing.
See, put you in a trance. Oh!
So what's next for you?
Starting to look at the other side of the game, you know. Maybe wanting to jump into a hot seat one of the days. I think that's where I see myself being a manager. And we'll see. Can I get closer to that? You know, I think that seems like a smooth transition. If I'm being honest. Look, football's a big part of my life. I want to keep it that way. And yeah, that's where I see myself ending up, going over to the dark side at some stage. See what it's like on the other side. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
This ball, look. This ball is in the way. It's gonna bounce mine out. Oh. So we're obviously on the 18th hole here, but just in terms of your football career, you've had a fairly storied career. You've been at a lot of clubs, you've met a lot of, you know, people and stuff like that. So I suppose, how would you like to be remembered as a footballer? I'm not saying this is like you're retiring or anything like that, but how would you, if you look back at your whole career when you do finish, how would you like to be remembered?
How would I like to be remembered? Someone who gives it their all. I think I'm someone that, you know, plays with a bit of an edge, plays with a bit of passion. You know, the one thing you want to be known for as a footballer, nothing about being fancy or skillful, is, you know, is can you work hard? And I think if I was to sum myself up on and off the pitch and everything that's gone on, the best way I'd like to be remembered is someone who works hard. I know it sounds boring, cliche, whatever you want to say it, but you know, I think you know, without hard work, you don't get anywhere. And you know, at 37, I still do that now. So it's almost like my blueprint for my career is to work hard. You know, a talent gets you a seat on the table, but hard work keeps you at the table. So you know, how I want to be remembered is someone that gives it their all and works hard.
Of all the kind of characters and all you met across your clubs, whether managers or players, who's like been the funniest, or like you mentioned Phil Brown, Chris Coleman, who's been the kind of the one you look back at and go, you know, he gave me the best laugh, or whatever way you want to.
Oh, best laugh. Oh God. Can't think. There's been sometimes, you know, it depends where you are in your you know, how you're going, results and all that. I'll probably say Phil Brown maybe. You know, whether it be coming in with bastard shorts on him, whether it be coming in the shoes, or you know, whatever it may be. But maybe Phil Brown as a character, you know what I mean? But you know, everyone else is, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, let's finish this up and let's get ourselves out of the cold. So, this to win it.
To win it, surely I'm miles ahead. I'm gonna wrap this up with a little bit of finesse, something that I maybe not known as, and maybe it won't be either.
Speaking of finesse, oh, I thought I was going to do the little spinneroonie. Gary, fair play. What a man. So, as you saw there, I lost narrowly, but I'll take it. I mean, I was playing against a professional footballer. But let us know who you'd like to see me take on, or them take on me, and we'll try get it done. Don't forget to subscribe as well. It helps the channel grow, and don't forget to like the video. We'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching.